What's going on, everyone? It's Alex back here with another video. Thanks for checking it out. So I hope you guys saw the previous video I posted, kind of giving you an update on what I'm doing and the fact that I now have a shop and I'm a licensed dealer. If you haven't checked out that video, go ahead and check it out. I'll leave the link up top here and just kind of give you an idea of what I'll be doing with the channel from this point forward, and what you guys can expect. So in that video, I told you guys that I have another project car, as if I didn't have enough already. I feel like these days I have way too many projects, but I guess it's an excuse now that I'm a licensed dealer. I have an excuse to go buy some cars. But in any event, it's actually meant to make some money in the end. But in any event, I went and I got this car. I consider it a barn find, if you will. Didn't literally find it in a barn, but I did find it. It was sitting out back of someone's house in the weeds. It's definitely a car that I consider a modern import classic. I happened to be scrolling through on Facebook Marketplace, and then I decided to check Craigslist. And this car was posted less than an hour prior. And I basically emailed the guy, said I'll come get it tomorrow, I have a trailer, let's make this happen. So without further ado, let me introduce the new car to the channel. Alright, so here you go, guys. This is the 2000 Civic Si, popularly known as the EM1. This is the car that I picked up a couple weeks ago now, and we'll be starting to tear down, rebuild, and just seeing what it becomes. It's obviously in quite rough shape, as you can see. It has been sitting outside of someone's house in the back in the Florida sun for the last 6 years. And I saw it on Craigslist and decided I had to have this. I got it for a decent price, and just want to see what we can do. And this will be kind of more of a long-term type project, but ultimately, something that I could sell and pass on to another collector. Every single body panel on this car is original, VIN matching, no accidents. It's only had 2 owners, so I'm really excited about this car. So as you can see, the car needs a lot of work. It actually pretty much needs a whole engine rebuild as well. The previous owner, when he got it, I think he said it needed some head work, so he rebuilt the head, threw it on, started the car, and realized it had a rod knock. So disassembled it and found out it had a spun rod bearing. So really just what's under the hood now is pretty much a bare block with a crank sitting in it. The rest is pretty much in the trunk. So luckily these engines, the B16s, are really easy to rebuild. The car only has 133,000 original miles on it. The original rods and pistons are there, and they look great, honestly. So I just may, re-ring the pistons, throw in some new bearings, probably a new crank because that's probably beat up from the bearing, and see if it'll run. So let's take a look under the hood here. I'm probably not showing you guys anything that you don't already know, but just your run-of-the-mill B16. It's kind of cool. With the limited, there's a couple modifications on here. You can see I think it's a DC, cheap DC header and an AEM intake. What's pretty cool with this car is the few modifications that are on there are like straight out of 2000. So it's pretty cool. It's stuff that I saw back in the day and was like, oh my God, an AEM intake, I have to have that. As silly as that sounds. But in any event, all the pieces to the car are there. Again, this is just a bare block. I don't know if you can see, it doesn't even have the cams in there. The rest is in the trunk, so let's go ahead and pop the trunk here. All original interior, definitely needs some love, but I don't know if you can see back there, there's some missing plastic panel pieces that were taken apart. Everything is here for the car. It's either in the back here or in the trunk. I did confirm that every piece is there, including the airbag. The previous owner needed this steering wheel for another car. So anyway, let's take a look in the trunk. And here we have a trunk full of goodies, both original parts and some aftermarket. So we'll start digging through there and seeing what's good, seeing what's bad, and seeing what we're going to do basically with this thing. So you do have to kind of use your imagination with this car, as I always do. I see something kind of as a diamond in the rough, if you will, and something that I think I can bring back to life. And that's what I really enjoy doing on cars. It's cool to buy a brand new car or something that's a couple years old and do some mods. Obviously, that's what I did with my G. But there's a lot to be said for something like this that I think is going to be a classic down the line, and just basically bring it back to life and just either enjoying it myself or passing it on to someone else to enjoy. So I'm really excited to get this project started. Like I said, everything on this car is original, including the paint. If you can see there, I think this is pretty much down to the base coat. But if you look, if I show you the rest of the car, the paint itself is in really good condition. From here down, so all the doors, all the fenders, it's definitely something that I think I can wet sand, polish, do some paint correction, and really bring back to life. I actually did a quick compound in this area, and I mean, it really just comes back pretty quick. Did some wet sanding and buffing here on the bumper. So in any event, I'm just gonna try what I can, see what I can bring back up, see what I have to paint. Definitely needs a repaint on the trunk. I don't even know where the paint went on these things. I kind of don't understand how, like, most of the car is in good shape paint-wise when it's sat out in the sun for 6 years, and then you have stuff like that. I had to have this car because it was all original, all numbers matching, engine, transmission, all the panels, all the quarter panels. And I mean, it's something, it's 2000, it's 20 years old now at this point, and it's just stuff that, like, the doors close perfectly, all the panels are lined up, the fenders have never been off, and that kind of really, gives me some hope for the project. And, so what, we gotta throw some rod bearings and stuff in the engine, but that shouldn't be a big deal. I'm gonna start taking that apart. This is the new project for the channel. Both for the business and for the channel. So let me know if it's something you guys want to see, the progress of. I may not show every single little detail, like, when I'm doing paint correction. I may not make a 2-hour long video, but just, if you're interested to see the updates, I'd really like to include you guys and give you something cool to watch. I've been watching Obsessed Garage's channel, and Matt has his EM1. Again, his is like showroom quality, and spends $12,000 on suspension. Love his channel, love his work, but I think this will be cool to see. This is something that kind of your average Joe like myself that doesn't have much money can get into, rebuild, make look nice, and kind of bring back to life, and you're not going to be breaking the bank on anything. And that being said as well, pretty much other than Matt's channel, there's really no other EM1s on YouTube, with people doing restoration products or doing really anything in general. So I think it'll be something that'll stand out for the community, and along the road, I can show you guys, anybody that stumbles upon the channel and watches these videos, hopefully it can help them. If they have one of these or just a Honda Civic in general, these are pretty much what I grew up working on. That's where I started. So I pretty much know these like the back of my hand, similar to my G and my Z. I really love working on Hondas. I know they may not be the most special thing, and obviously they're not the fastest car in the world, but I don't know, there's just something to be said about Honda quality, and they're just so reliable, easy to work on, and pretty affordable. So let me know what you want to see with the car, if there's anything in particular. Again, I'm pretty much going to be making this or turning this back pretty much to stock. Again, it has a few tasteful modifications. It even has the Tokiko aluminum shocks on there. I don't even know if they still make those. I mean, this car is literally from like 2000. It even has a little Viper remote switch. It's pretty cool. It's kind of like a little time capsule in and of itself. But let me know if you guys have any ideas, what I should do, anything specific you might want to see on this. I don't have a problem doing a couple extra things to it along the way, but it's pretty much going to be a restoration project, getting it running and driving. So let me know in the comments below what you want to see. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do so and follow along on the journey. This should be really fun. So I'm excited to start this series, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.